Okay, so let us start with the class. Uh, Gautam, can you say where we stopped at the last class? Where were we in the last class?
No idea, ma'am.
Why?
I'm not attending US sessions.
This is your first session.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, Golden, can you say where were we in the last class?
मैम लास्ट क्लास हमने किए थे मैम.
Okay. So, कोई जो last class
सॉरी
किया
मैम.
था, कोई बोल सकता है where were we? I mean, I have forgotten which part we have stopped actually. So, what are the topics which we have covered in just the last class? Can anyone say, please? No one is able to say what is happening in the last class. What is the last topic which we are learning, or the chapter which we are learning, or the module which we are learning? Anyone?
Ma'am, requirement analysis.
Okay, so requirement analysis and specification, right? So in that chapter, so I have I explained that what is this requirement analysis and specification part, then who carries out this phase, then what is the SRS? Yeah, right. Shubhas has written SRS. Okay, fine, fine. Now I understand where has we stopped. Fine, fine. Okay. Okay. So in the last class, thank you, Shubhas, so much. So in the last class, I think we have stopped at like I was explaining you the SRS document, how that is validated. That is once internally by the people in the project team, and after that externally by the customers. And then I have explained that the two main activities which are carried out in this entire phase, one is the requirement gathering and analysis, and another is the requirement specification. Fine. So these two are the main activities. Now in between these two activities, several inner activities are carried on. So one by one we will be studying. So first we are emphasizing on the requirements gathering and analysis part. One is the gathering analysis part, another is the specification part. Okay. So so this requirements gathering and analysis, now the complete set of requirements, they are almost never available in the form of a single document from the customer. So if I want to take one document from the customer where the entire set of requirements will be specified, that is not possible. Okay. So it would be really unrealistic if I expect that the customers will produce uh, a very good comprehensive document, and it will contain a description, entire brief precise description of what he wants. So it will be very unrealistic, because customers are not that much knowledgeable. If they were, then they would not have come to the company to make, or to want them to make the software from them, right? So they are not that much technically sound, so they cannot do that. So the complete requirements, they are very rarely obtained from any single customer representative. So the requirements, they have to be gathered by the analyst from several sources in bits and pieces. So the analyst, we have just talked about who is the system analyst. So the analyst, they need to gather the information in whatever bits and pieces possible, in from various groups of the customer in whatever way he can gather the information from several sources. He need to do that, and then these gathered requirements, they need to be analyzed in order to remove several type of problems that can occur in the requirements that have been gathered. So sometimes it may happen that same information is there, some information which is not relevant that is there. So first the analyst needs to gather all the information that is possible from several resources of the customers, and then after this gathering is done, he needs to analyze also. He will analyze and he will delete those parts which are not necessary. So conceptually, we will divide this requirements gathering and analysis activity into two separate tasks. One task is the requirements gathering. This is task one. And another task is the requirements analysis. This is our task two. Fine. So two phases, and in between the two phases, phase one, there is, I am further dividing the requirement of my phase into two smaller subtasks. One part is to gather, next part is to analyze. So if I talk about phase one, that is the gathering part, the requirement gathering part. If I talk about this, so this is also known as, another name to this requirements gathering is requirements elicitation. Okay. So the primary objective of this requirement gathering task is to collect the requirements from the stakeholders. So objective or aim is okay. So can anyone say who is a stakeholder? Can anyone say what do we mean by this term? When I am saying collect the requirements from the stakeholders, what do we mean from this term, the stakeholder? Anyone please say. If anyone doesn't say, I will call out your names one by one. So what's the point? Please say. Anyone. You Google it and then you at least say. Otherwise, it is like I am going on giving lectures. Your phones is on your bed. You are not even listening. You do not need to write in the chat box. You just answer. What is CORP? Corporation. Subhash, what are you trying to say? CORP is corporation. Okay, fine. Varsha, say what do we mean by stakeholders? Bolo.
Ma'am, group affected by the software development project.
Right. So stakeholders means any source, like any person or a group of person who are directly or indirectly they are attached with the software. So it can be customers, it can be project team members, it can be project manager, it can be director of the company, it can be CEO, it can be employees of the that company, it can be different groups of customers, whatever it is, any person or group who are directly or indirectly attached or concerned with the software, they are termed as the stakeholders. So if I talk about our college, stakeholders are teachers, the management, you students, then the guardian of the students, any person who are directly attached with the good academic improvement of this college, will be termed as the stakeholders for this college. So the primary objective is to collect the requirements from the different stakeholders. So uh, even if this requirement gathering phase, it may sound like a simple task, but however in practice, it is very much difficult to gather all the necessary information, because since the number of stakeholders are always large and informations are always scattered across several pieces of documents, so it is very much difficult to gather all the necessary information and jot it down. So gathering requirements, this turns out to be very much challenging, and if there is no working model of the software that is developed, it is more challenging. Okay. So suppose that there is a customer and he wants to automate some activity in his organization that is currently being carried out manually. So manually he is doing something. He wants to automate those activities. That is, he wants one company that uh, they will write a software such that the machine will generate the slips automatically. So the people of, I mean, so the customer, that person, the clerk will not have to create anything. So in this case, what happens is, in this case, the manual system exists. That means the working model of the system that exists. Suppose suppose if I talk about bona fide certificate, suppose you do what, you manually come, you write your application, there is one person designated, he manually does all the thing and he gives you the bona fide certificate. So suppose our management wants that I will automate this activity. So the student will just input some information and automatically a bona fide certificate will be generated and it will be mailed to the student. So this is one activity which I want to be automated. So when the requirements gathering for this type of automated activity is needed, in order to make this automated activity, I definitely need some information about this activity. So there I will need a working model of the system. Then what is my working model? This, the manual system. How manually the bona fide certificates are prepared and distributed, at least this model needs to exist. Otherwise, the person who is gathering the information, how will he be able to know that what are the informations that are required to be put? Who will be able to put this information, the college or the student himself? Otherwise, how will he able to write the requirements and then prepare the system? So availability of a working model, in case of this example, it was a manual system, not an issue. But any availability of any working model of the activity that I need to automate, that is of great help when it comes to requirement gathering. So if I have already a working model, then the person who is coming to collect the information, it is very much beneficial for him to gather a knowledge as fast as possible about the entire system, how this system is working. So for example, if the project is involving automating the existing accounting activities of an organization, then the task of the system analyst will become a lot easier, because he can immediately obtain the input and the output forms and the details of the procedures. How is this thing maintained manually in the organization? So suppose it is required to develop a software to automate these bookkeeping activities which are involved in the operation of a certain office. So in this case, the analyst will have to study the input forms, the output forms, and then understand how the outputs are produced from the input. So if a project involves developing something new for which no working model exists, then the requirements gathering activities becomes very difficult. And if the project involves requiring something for which already some existing model exists, be it in software or be it in hardware, at least the existing model is there from which the analyst can gather the information that how the activities are working, so that this replica he can transfer it into software notations. Then the working or the requirement gathering activity becomes very much easier. So in absence of a working system, more imagination, more creativity is required on the part of the system analyst. Is this thing clear? Why some working system model, if it is there, why this phase will become easier, and in absence of a working system model, why this phase will become a bit more time taking? Is this thing clear? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So typically, even before visiting the customer site, so the requirement gathering activity is started by simply studying the existing documents to collect all possible information about the system to be developed. One can study all the documents that is present in the organization. You can take it through email or through any virtual mode, and even before visiting the site, the requirement gathering activity can start. So during the visit to the customer sites, the analysts, what they normally do, they interview the end users and the customer representatives. That is who will use the system. Suppose if I want to make an automated bona fide making application. So persons involved will be from the college side, the administrative departments. So they will be the signing authorities, and from the students side, the students. So the analyst, they will interview both the end users, that is the customer representatives, that is they will uh, they will interview the customer representatives, that is the administrative department people, and they will interview the end users also, that is the students as well. And after that, they carry out this requirement gathering activities, such as they will question something, so they will prepare some surveys, they will analyze the surveys, they will give different scenario analysis, they will give form analysis. Okay, so the end users and the customers need not be same for a software. So end user of my bona fide is the students, but the customers of this bona fide, that is the person who has gone to the organization or the software company and given them money to make this automated software, is our management, our administrative department. So the customer and the users of a software is generally different. Okay, so they will interview, they will prepare surveys, they will do scenarios, they will do form analysis, and then after all these things is over, they will analyze those things. So uh, as you can see that uh, it is not very likely that customers are always computer efficient. So given that most of the customers are not that much computer savvy, what will I say, so they describe their requirements very vaguely. So what good analysts do, they share their experience, they share their expertise with the customer, and they give them suggestions to define functionalities more accurately. So they can make functionalities more accurate, more complete. So we will just try to discuss what are the things that are discussed in the like what are the ways in which the experienced analysts they gather requirements. So the analyst usually studies all the available documents regarding the system they need to develop before they visit the customer site. So before visiting the customer site, they need to be aware of all the things that they have been provided with in order to sound and in order to be confident in collecting the information. So customers, they will provide some statement of purpose document to the developers, like what they want to do, why they want to do such documents they will provide to the developers. Then these documents will discuss issues such as context in which the software is required, the basic purpose, the stakeholders, the features of any similar software which is developed elsewhere, etc. So this is about the study of existing documentation. Then there will be one interview. So many categories of users of a software are there, and each category of user, they require a different set of features from the software. So if I talk about a library management system, if I talk about this bona fide system, a student will say, I only need the bona fide from the application. But if you ask the administrator, he might need that in a month how many bona fides are issued, in a year how many different bona fides are issued, or the bona fides which are issued, it must be sectioned like from which departments, which how many numbers are issued. Then one person is taking how many bona fides in a month or a year. All this thing needs to be tracked. Suppose one person takes a bona fide in this month and again he has lost it, again in the next month he has this. So this thing should be tracked, that I have given you the bona fide last month. Why are you again reapplying? If you have lost it, you write an application, then I will give you one duplicate one. So you see that from the same software, different set of customers or category of users, they require different set of features. So therefore it is very much important for the analyst to first identify the different categories of users and then determine the requirements of each user. For example, suppose the different categories of users of a library automation software. They can be the library members, they can be the librarians, they can be the accountants. Now, the library members would like to use the software in order to see whether books are available or not, and whether I can issue the books and whether I can return the books. Whereas the librarian, he might use the software to determine whether books are overdue or not. He will be able to create member account. He will be able to delete some account which is not in use. Whereas the accounts personnel, he might use the software some functionalities like for the financial aspect, like the total fee which is collected from these members, then the expenditure which is incurred in buying the books this year, then the salary of the all the staff in the library and staffs. So you see different sections or categories of people of the same software, they require different functionalities from the same software. So all these different categories of the users of the software, they needs to be interviewed. You cannot just say that I have interviewed only one section and I will start making the software. No, the analyst needs to interview all these people, that what they are expecting from the system, what they want to see the system do for them, and then only he can prepare his document. Okay. uh, in order to systematize these methods of requirement gatherings, several techniques are there, where in those techniques are followed, like there the analysts, they consolidate the requirements in a document, then they circulate this thing to the various categories of users so that they can put in their comments, and based on the feedback he will again refine these documents. So this entire procedure will be repeated till the different users agree on the set of requirements. So what technique is followed? The analyst is there, I am referring him as A, and suppose user 1, type 2 and type 3 are there. he will talk with them, he will briefly document a thing, he will send it to user 1, same to user 2, same to user 3. They will put in their comments, all of them will be give their feedbacks that whether it is okay or not okay. They will send it to back to A and back to 3, right? Again, after refining the document according to their comments, A will again send the refined document back to user category 1, category 2, category 3. Again, ask for feedback process if feedback is needed. Suppose 1 gives feedback, 2 does not give any feedback, 3 gives back feedback. Again, he will do the refinement, again, he will send back. So, this process is followed till each and every category of people they accept or they agree on the set of requirements. So till that time, this entire process of giving, of making the document, sending them for taking feedbacks, working on the feedbacks, refining the document, again sending them back, working on them, refining the thing, entire things goes on. So is this thing clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Next, or the third way is the task analysis. That is, this is a bit difficult for you to understand because you does not know still the concept of black box, white box. Uh, okay, still I will try to make it understandable. Uh, so, what the users actually do, the users they will have a overall view of the software. They will have a just a overall view of the software, and they will consider the software as something that will provide them a set of functionalities or a set of services. So to them, to the users, this software is just like a black box. They know nothing which is happening inside the software. They just have an overall view of the software, and they consider this software to be something that provides them with a set of functionalities or with a set of services. Now, a service that is supported by a software, that is known as a task. So any service or functionality that is supported by the software. So any functionality, feature or service that a software will do, that is termed as a task. Okay. So we can say that the software, they perform various tasks for the users, yes or no? A software, he performs various functionalities or various services for the user, and if I am terming this service to be a task, then a software performs various tasks for the users, yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So in this context, what an analyst tries to do, he tries to identify and understand the different tasks that are to be performed by the software. So the analyst, he tries to identify and understand the different tasks that the software will be performing. So for each identified task, the analyst tries to formulate the different steps that was necessary for that functionality to be performed in consultation with the user. So for example, suppose there is a service named issue book for library automation system. There is a service named issue book. Fine. So for this issue book service, What are the steps that may be there? Maybe we want to authenticate the user. Maybe we want to check the number of books which are already issued to our user. Because already if he has 3 books, his must permissible limit is 3. I will not issue him any more book. So I need to authenticate whether the user is user of my system, of my college or not. I need to check whether what are the number of books already issued in his name. And then I need to determine that if the maximum number of books and this member has exceeded or not. That is, this member has reached his limit of maximum number of books or not. And then I need to check whether the book has been reserved somewhere else or not. And then I need to post the book issue details in the members record. If that book can be issued to my member, I need to post or enter the book issue details in the members record. And finally, I need to take a printout book issue slip, and then I will present it to the customer. He will go to the library or to the library staff. He will show that yes, this book can be issued to me. You please give this book to me. So the task analysis, it helps the analyst to understand the entire various user tasks. That is the various steps that are there for obtaining or performing one task. That analysis can be done, and that representation can be done. That is, each task can be represented as a hierarchy of several subtasks, because this task, issue a book, it requires several steps. It is required to see whether the person who has come, he is a member of my college or not. We need to check his identity card. We need to check that if books can be issued to this name or not. We need to check whether the maximum number of books has already been reached in his name or not. If it is not been reached, we need to check whether the book is available or not. If the book is available, we need to post that yes, this details of the book. We need to take a printout. We need to give it to the customer, to the student, and then the student will take it to the library staff, and the student will uh, show the slip, and he will get the book, right? And then when the book was issued in the name, we need to enter it against his name, so that again I can update my records of that student, that he has taken this book on this date. So a task is a hierarchy of several subtasks, and in order to understand one task, we need to understand each and every steps that is supported by that task also. So our task analysis needs to do this. This is the entire task analysis job. That is, they need to understand the entire steps that are connected to a one task. Okay. So less than 4 minutes is there. I will just share the attendance. Okay. So everyone, please mark your attendance. So if you have any question, you may ask me. And if you do not have any doubts, You can mark your attendance and you can leave the class.